Thank you. Good morning to our honored guests here at the Legislature, to all of you, colleagues in the Legislature, special guests who have joined us. Good morning. Woodrow Wilson once wrote that a statesman is, first of all, and chief of all, a great human being, with an eye for all the great fields on which men like himself struggle. Wilson went on to say that a statesman is a guide, a counselor, a mentor, a servant, and a friend of mankind. Wilson set the bar quite high. We are met this morning in the rotunda in, I think, complete agreement that Dr. Barnhart meets this exacting standard for statesmanship. Gordon Barnhart has worked on our behalf, either as residents of the province of Saskatchewan or Canadians for a time, as a servant for almost 45 years. It's nearly 6 as our 20th Lieutenant Governor. And he has been a dedicated servant of the province of Saskatchewan. He has been a guide and a counselor and a mentor to hundreds of people, hundreds of us, maybe thousands. I can see some colleagues sitting over here that would make that claim. I also make that claim, sir, to have benefited from that kind of a mentor-mentee relationship. We had many discussions in terms of the Crown First Minister meetings that we would have on a regular basis. We talked about fun stuff like football and politics. And we talked about other stuff like potash takeovers and cabinet shuffles. And we talked about the good fortune the province was having fiscally. And His Honor, Dr. Barnhart, was able to dispense some good old-fashioned prairie advice, prairie values in terms of the importance of fiscal probity that I think, frankly, have served this province very well. Her Honor has noted that he and Naomi were champions of many, many causes, and chief among them, to be sure, was the Leadership Forum. They had a bias in the selection for candidates for this Youth Leadership Forum. It was open to participants from all over the province, but a great number of participants came from northern Saskatchewan because of their passion and desire to see greater engagement in the life of this province from on behalf of young people in the north. I'm not sure that's going to help. They had a passion for many other things, as has been noted by Her Honor, for literacy, for fitness, for the prevention of brain injuries. Dr. Barnhart has had a lifelong passion for the history of this country and of this province, which was also manifest in his time as our Lieutenant Governor. We would share books on politics and history, and maybe the most important one for me was the book he actually authored on Walter Scott, a story that has been too little told in Saskatchewan, but there has been real leadership on his part to tell the story of arguably our greatest premier, and that statue that exists outside just by Wascana Lake with Walter Scott looking back at the building. The inspiration for that statue in terms of the 100th anniversary of this building when it was constructed was Dr. Barnhart and his passion for the Scott story and that it be told. We thank you as well for that. But theirs was a team effort in this office. A great vice-regal couple carried out their duties in a friendly and unpretentious manner, a way that belied the notion that the office they represented was rarefied or exalted in any way. And let me just say at this point to Mrs. Barnhart how grateful we are to you for your support for Dr. Barnhart in carrying out these duties. It was truly a team effort. I also was able to develop, I think, a good relationship there. The bond was formed in part by the fact that we share a Mennonite heritage. We had agreed to a challenge, a Rawlkuchen cook-off challenge. Rawlkuchen is basically a deep-fried Mennonite dough that you eat with watermelon. By the way, Mrs. Barnhart proves that you can eat deep-fried dough and still be a paragon of good health. However, the challenge never happened. We either ran out of time or somebody was running scared, and maybe we'll get to that someday. We thank you, though, for your support for Dr. Barnhart and the team approach you both took to these offices. Above all, the Barnharts represented Her Majesty with an enthusiasm that I think stems from their deep affection and genuine affection for the people of this province. It is apparent even today in their energy and their joy, energy and joy that they brought to their duties as the vice-regal couple. So, ladies and gentlemen, today is at least one way that the province has at its disposal to say thank you to you, Dr. Barnhart, to you, Mrs. Barnhart, for all that you have done and for your service. You have been a fixture in this building for a very long time, and now you're going to be a fixture in this building in perpetuity. And even as you are, it will serve as a reminder to all of us that a statesman is a guide and a counselor and a mentor and a servant and a friend, and we thank you for being these to this province and its people.